Welcome to the CBS Sports Classic here in Atlanta. Four of the most historic programs in college basketball.
Michael Jordan.
Battle it out on the court. The Red Storm of St. John's.
Clean shot by Ejiofor. Bingo. Two-hand dunk.
The Wildcats of Kentucky.
Lowe hit Garrison with his own. Slammed it in. Oweh drills a three.
The Tar Heels of North Carolina.
Wilson, how about a two-handed Evans three-pointer? Yeah, they hammers it down.
The Buckeyes of Ohio State.
Royal, bang. There's Thornton. Bottom slides it on.
It doesn't get any better than this. State Farm Arena in Atlanta, the site of the CBS Sports Classic. A doubleheader this afternoon here in town. Our first game, St. John's and Kentucky to tip things off. 3 games on CBS this afternoon. Happy holidays, everybody, from Atlanta. I'm Brad Nussler. My partners, the Hall of Famer Bill Raftery, who 8 months ago was calling the Final Four. The newest member of our CBS Sports team who was coaching in the Final Four 8 months ago, Bruce Pearl, former Auburn coach, partner. Good to have you with us.
It's great to be with you guys. I hope it's a lot easier over here than it was over there.
Well, we love having you, but I think the referees like it more than you were with us.
And we're almost positive that Bruce is going to keep his shirt on throughout the entire afternoon. Let's talk about the games at hand, fellas. St. John's and Kentucky set to go at it. They haven't had the seasons that I guess their fans were expecting, at least. St. John's, this is a big opportunity for them today, BP.
Yes, I think number 5 preseason, a little high for this team. Why? They lost their entire backcourt. But they got the Hall of Famer Rick Pitino. They had a great year last year, and they got a big man in the middle. The player of the year in the Big East, Zudi Ejiofor. That gives them a chance.
Big name for everybody, no question about it.
Kentucky's had 4 losses, wrapped all to ranked teams, but the Big Blue Nation's not happy right now.
No, they're not happy, but I think they'll become happy because they're talented, they're all back, and they're healthy, and that's a big plus.
All right, let's take a look at our AT&T fast analysis. Raph, take it over for Kentucky.
Well, that Auburn, you saw enough of this. Rebound, run. Do a good job attacking the rim. But it's Oweh in the open floor. His ability to do things, I think he's healthy. The turf toes, no problem. It's Oweh or the highway. Send it in, big fella.
And BP for St. John's.
It's all about Zudi Ejiofor, the man in the middle. Okay, he's a monster. He's a presence. He's physical. He's blocked 20 shots in the last 3 games. And if he gets it close, he's going to get it closer. He's going to score through you or with you. It doesn't matter.
A great matchup, not only by basketball teams, but it's the master against the student, Rick Pitino, against Mark Pope, who is the captain of his '96 Kentucky National Championship team. It's all coming up. We'll check in with Jenny Dell and tip it in a moment. The CBS Sports Classic. Number 22, St. John's, against the Wildcats of Kentucky, and this arena is got the Big Blue Nation here in full force, as it always seems to be. They call it Catlanta. Let's check in. 4th member of our team is Jenny Dell.
Brad, as you mentioned, this one is personal. You said it. You had your former head coach of Kentucky, Rick Pitino, with his guy, Mark Pope, on the other sideline. He was a member of that '96 national championship team. And now 30 years later, you said it. The first time the mentor and the former player are facing off as head coaches. Pitino told us Mark was the glue, the guy that really held that '96 team together. He said, today's like coaching against your son. And Pope joked, I'm blessed to have suffered under Coach Pitino, before seriously adding, he changed my life forever. I love him for the depths of my soul. Guys, the 2 went out to dinner last night with members of the '96 team that are here today, but this game, it is pure competition.
I think I did about 10 of those games in that '96 year. I was thinking about getting an apartment in Lexington. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. Zanin, Sellers, Jackson, Hopkins, Ejiofor, Evan Burrows, Courtney Green, Brian Dorsey, our officials. We're set to play ball in Atlanta. And here we go.
Bruce Pearl, nice to see you. Fred Nessler. St. John's goes on a little limit.
Man-to-man it is.
I've been waiting years to hear that.
The left side ball screen, you'll see a lot of blur screens, Bruce.
Kentucky's going to try to move them. They're going to try them in the gaps.
And we got a walk. Turnover to open things up.
Interesting. Forced him to go right. Have a wide open left, going strong. St. John's likes quick hitters. Pretty good defense early, Bruce, here.
Yeah, they cut off Ejiofor.
We get all 5 guys back. Kentucky's length and size. Both teams are really good in the half court.
Ejiofor, the muscle. Oh, and what a move! And rejected out of there by Moreno.
How active was that weak side defense?
Yeah, it was really good. They got size on the backside. With a really good one-on-one post-up by Zuby.
The 16th block of the year by Moreno, and he got all of this one.
And here comes the weak side help. That ball's on its way up. Kentucky's got great rim protection.
This is where they're tough on the inbounds. You did this beautifully in your coaching days.
Got to hurry on the shot clock.
Another
block shot.
Size prevails. Open floor, he is tough.
Oweh going coast to coast, lost the handle.
And this is not the primary defender. This is not the guy guarding the ball. This is coming from the backside. There it is right there. Too much length.
Got to create a passing lane, Bruce, too, if you're the opponent.
And the chance of go big blue echoing through State Farm Arena already, but what they've seen is two blocks and 2 turnovers so far. Rick Pitino, his 3rd year at St. John's, 6-12 all-time against Kentucky. All those games were when he was at Louisville, and he won a national championship here in Atlanta with Louisville.
Guys, I think this is where the game is going to be won, in the half court. Both of these teams can really guard 5-on-5. Transition is where both more effective.
Well, a lot of individual play is going to happen because they're so well coached and scouted.
Good defense by Kentucky so far. That's what they showed against Indiana. They win last week. Another block shot.
Number 3 early, but good balance by the Redmen.
Chandler trying
Nice
to feed the post and did, but he missed inside. Moreno.
Chandler can make some plays. We know he's a shooter.
You know when that happens, guys, I used to say, that's my fault. I got to get you closer. I got to get you close. That's my fault you missed that layup.
This is a bonus if that goes down for Hopkins. Got a great mid-game.
Offensive rebound. St. John's trying a 3rd chance, but Kentucky goes to the deck. And possession arrow is going to be St. John's ball.
You know, how much of this right here is the backside? This is an easy one, Coach. He's got to finish that.
Would you take away his scholarship?
No, but I got some guys on the bench that might want to be out there that could finish it.
Yeah, take the meal money anyhow.
Ian Jackson on top.
Trying to make him a little more of a ball handler. Pretty good D on him.
That 3 goes.
He can do a lot of things. You don't think about that jump shot. That's his 4th 3 of the year.
1-2, 1-1 full court pressure. It's try to wear Kentucky out, make them come back for the ball, and get their half-court defense established.
Ends up Aberdeen on the dribble for Kentucky.
St. John's does a great job challenging and harassing that high post guy, whether they show or retreat. Oweh going at the rim, very important, I think, for this club.
5 on the shot clock. You've got a 15-4 and nailed it.
You don't score with your toe, but it helps. He's had that problem. Healthy, tough.
Out 10 weeks with a turf toe this summer.
It's unbelievable. Sellers a guy who can make shots.
Didn't make that one. Rebound Moreno.
This is where Kentucky's good. They got numbers.
Excellent balance, though, thus far.
A good transition defense by St. John's.
You can't fall asleep on this kid. He can make 3s and stretch the D.
Chandler off the window, off the mark. Kept alive. Offensive rebound and in and out.
Well, that's 2 at the rim. Wow.
Diobate's like, what do I have to do?
I'm a little surprised with pace. You know, St. John's had to score early. They didn't. They pulled it out. They're going half court. This is not their strength, but they are shooting it better.
He can shoot it too. Trenant. Really don't have that point guard, Bruce, to run the show.
Raph, neither team really has that point guard, and that's going to be a difference in a game. Which team takes care of the basketball, turns it over, gives the other team easy ones.
A nice screen to get the open look.
And we're going to have a foul on the rebound.
Aberdeen with the reach in.
Well, Ejiofor,
he doesn't hit many of those.
Oh my gosh! But you talk about stretching the defense, Kentucky's got to guard him out there a little bit.
He's a guy who can pull up game, step back jack, gets to the rim. Good to see him at the top of his game.
What's happening here?
The point guard, something they've been waiting to on a consistent basis. Lowe injured that shoulder early, Brad. Back healthy, they hope.
Yeah, he missed 6 games.
Nice curl.
And the lane.
He hurt his shoulder already.
Oh, no.
Lowe hurt his shoulder on that play.
He sure did.
He just walked off the floor.
He's heading straight to the locker room, it looks like.
That's unbelievable. As you know, during the football, the shoulder, such a touchy thing. Just caught a little bit late. He must have got the... once he reached up, you can see the power of the delivery impacting his shoulder. This is terrible.
Man, that's terrible.
It really is.
He hit the last 3 field goals in the win over Indiana last week, and everybody thought, well, he's back, he's healthy, and he didn't last more than 15 seconds today.
Johnson on the floor now, more of a shooting type point guard.
Guys, what we just saw is could be a change in Kentucky's season right now. They don't have a backup point guard. All their guards like Johnson and Aberdeen are better scorers than they are point guards. Lowe hurt the shoulder this summer. It's come out now. This is the 2nd time in the last, let's say, month it's come out. And Bill, that was not a lot of contact.
No, I just think that's how bad that must be. Tender, at least. You always had great guards at Auburn, no matter where you were.
Well, I had to make up for great guards because I didn't always have good big kids because I wasn't at places where I could recruit the best. So we better be good in the backcourt.
There's some backcourt pressure from
tough when the coaches take all the money, you know?
Not anymore. Not anymore.
See how far out they force that entry pass? That creates a dilemma. And Dioubate with a switch on the post.
As you're watching this, don't be upset with the half-court offense. These are 2 elite defensive teams, and getting tough twos might be the best, shot they're going to get in a possession.
And Darlene on the floor now to run the show. He can make 3s, starting to knock shots down. Had been struggling.
Ejiofor's 3 too strong.
But that's not to get you home though.
And a little early.
St. John's right now is 1 for 9 from the floor.
Look who's at the score table. Ness, over at the scores table.
A guy that hasn't seen any action, and the fans are reacting. And he's right over there by Coach Pope.
Nice shot,
Jaden Quaintance.
Nice shot by Garrison, Brad. He's been shooting it better because Rick spent 2 days with him. Said he was shooting it straight and not up.
Little guys can't shoot it straight. They got to raise the elbow up just a little bit, set it high and let it fly.
You're talking to an Irish guy. Don't talk about elbows.
This guy, the Kentucky fans have been waiting all season long to see. Jaden Quaintance is coming in after this timeout. Got a special treat today in that Courtney Green, SEC official, wired for sound today here in the CBS Sports Classic. Here he was pregame.
I got the wire. I'm fully loaded. Well. Good to see you. Hey, congrats.
Take care of Stephen
Oweh,
and helping him. No,
yeah, hey, listen, he's doing a great job. What's up, big dog? Merry Christmas. Have a great one today. Have a great one. Good seeing you guys. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you guys. How's it going?
Nice touch. We appreciate Courtney wearing a mic.
CBS was very smart when Bruce was coaching. They never wired him.
That's true.
I mean, it'd be X-rated.
There'll be some documentaries eventually that'll be a little bit blue.
Jaden pretty good around that rim. Great rim protection. Not a great offensive player yet. Had him last year at Arizona State pre-knee injury.
The first few minutes, what does it feel for him to be out there? He's not played full court for 9 months.
Right.
You know, he's been in practice for about a week.
And look at the size with Garrison on the floor with him.
The Kentucky coaches said they're going to play big.
They feed him the post. Nice extra pass. Aberdeen.
Missed the three. And Quaintance up there for the rebound, gets fouled. Join host Nate Burleson, center square Drew Barrymore, and her wild crew of celebrity friends on a special holiday Hollywood Square, CBS Monday at 10, 9 Central. I don't know where Nate finds the time. I don't think he sleeps. I'm not sure. He'll be with you tomorrow at noon. The NFL Today on CBS. Another big weekend of NFL football. Late for tomorrow.
Quaintance is a kid with huge hands. It makes him a great defender. His length is incredible. I shook hands with him last year. He got my armpit.
Averaged 2.6 blocks a game last year. As Raph said, maybe not as big a score, but he was all Big 12 freshman, all Big 12 freshman team, defensive team. Seeing his first action here for the Wildcats.
This is a tough angle. I thought they might jump the passing lane on that pass.
Both teams are pressuring the ball out of bounds, making it difficult to get in.
A lot of stress on Johnson there to run the show. I think we'll see Lowe.
Quaintance going to take a fade away. Got it out the window.
Kiss.
That's a nice start for him.
There is a Lord.
Making yourself known right away. He's got an offensive rebound on the backside and a tough two.
Fighting for the rebound. St. John's
Nice
keeps
help.
it alive and a steal.
Oh, wait. They didn't get back. Oh, should have given it
Aberdeen,
up.
nice spin, but he's got it blocked by Ejiofor.
Got to give it to Garrison quickly. Didn't have to dribble the ball. They had numbers.
No touch. Come off of it right away.
Great spin move, but rejected.
Because he had a great game. How about this one? Big time kiss.
Love the high-low
that
with the two bigs.
But he's spry for having that knee last March, right?
Yeah.
There you go. That's his game.
Power. Oweh ties it at 8.
I tell you what, Coach Pitino is not going to be happy with just a right-hand driver driving right downhill through the lane.
That's that football mentality. His brother possesses.
Another block shot. This one's Quaintance.
He owns that 3-second area. One of the biggest prize recruits initially was going to go to Kentucky. Changed, all of a sudden goes to Arizona State, but the activity, again, the lint prevails.
And you know, the thing that we know that everybody at home doesn't know, talk about great kid, great family, hard worker, disciplined. We root for them all, but we root sometimes for the kids that do it the right way, a little more.
That's his left hand. Mitchell loves to go that way. You got to take it away from him.
Garrison with the rebound, and Oweh will bring it to Kentucky.
Go inside. Trey, a little bit inexperienced defensively.
Kentucky has not led in this game.
Everything but the finish. A great seal, a great pass. He's getting his feet wet.
Nice cut.
Dish. And we'll have a foul on the inside.
Yeah, on the pass. This is the seal you were talking about. A little bit of a discard as well.
Yeah, a little displacement, but do your work early.
Could have gone up real strong at the rim, I thought.
Quaintance will get a breather after a brief appearance, but an active one.
He made his acquaintance, you might say.
Yes, he did.
Did you think about that at a time? That was really good.
Right now. Everything's spontaneous. You know. Well reversed. But that early ball screen's tough to handle. They did a good job here.
Yeah, especially in transition when the backside's not set.
Garrison drop step.
And the baseline jumper goes.
2 bigs and a third. With Moreno back on the floor.
Kentucky's first lead. And another block shot, the 5th of the game so far for the Cats.
What a handle in the open floor by Oweh.
Size at the rim has been a factor for Kentucky. And at both ends.
Kept alive, second chance coming up.
But the closeouts have been great on the open shooters. Chandler hasn't been able to get a sniff. Too much bouncing.
Yeah.
7 on the shot clock.
Moreno and Trey killing one another inside.
They are letting them play. Yeah, letting them go. Come on, push.
Darling.
Guys, check me. How many two-point baskets does St. John's have? Not very many.
No. Cray does a nice job. Really good passer. Can make a deep shot on occasion.
To answer your question, they don't have a two-point basket
That's
yet.
what the instincts were telling me.
We got a block party going on in Atlanta. Injury problems have hampered Kentucky all season long. You just see the list of guys and the games that have missed, and now it's unlikely that Jalen Lowe will be back. Jenny moments ago with Mark Pope.
Coach, Jalen Lowe checks in, immediately re-injures that shoulder. How does that change the rotation?
Well, it's, we just have to have the next guy step up, and we have guys that'll step up. We'll be okay.
How do you continue this strong defensive performance from your team?
Yes, it's where we're going to cut our teeth. It's where we're getting better. It's going to be a mainstay of us for the whole season.
Thank you, Coach.
You know, we talked to Mark yesterday, and I asked him, I said, how do you deal with all the injuries? He said, we're built for this. We're deep enough. We're built for injury problems that crop up. Well, they're cropping up again.
Yeah, Kentucky's got tremendous depth, but it's all on the inside.
Yeah.
They only had one true point guard going into this game. They're trying to play Aberdeen there. They're trying to play Jackson there. This is going to be interesting to see, Rap, what he does.
Jesper Johnson's one guy, though. You can really use the ball screen, pocket pass. But you're absolutely right. The director sort of absent with Lowe out. Io now on the floor brings a lot of energy. Played for Rick at Iona. This is reminiscent of you, Bruce. Big on the ball.
Yeah, it's become more popular.
Yeah.
You know, getting the ball, having the ball underneath the basket's a dangerous place to have it. People
Dr.
score.
Tom, right? Didn't Dr. Tom teach you that?
He did.
Nice lob. He's good inside, Mitchell. Great look by Cray. How deep they run those lobs anymore.
Yeah, that's the first two-point basket for St. John's. It's interesting the shot blocker's not in the game.
And nobody harassed that pass either.
Yeah. You either back way off it or you get up there and extend it, and they didn't do either one.
Tie game for the second time here with 11:15 to go, first half.
They're trying to blow up that screen. Nice pass.
Great feed by Chandler.
And nobody at home in the back. You got to take the roll guy, bump him if possible. Not good vision by the D.
Both teams trying to extend the other's team, making them handle the ball off the three-point line.
The lob inside. Again. Tough catch. And then a steal by Chandler.
Well, they got numbers here. You hate to see wasted fast break opportunities.
Not even a point guard on the floor, bro. That's like the last option to skip it to the other side.
Dioubate trying to back in.
Here comes a double.
Got the pass over 8 to shoot. Moreno down on a low block on the other side.
That'll score.
Cray did a nice job standing him up and a jump ball over it. Well, he has been aggressive since he's on the floor.
Cray is a big guy that's not afraid to bounce off of people. He brings them effort and energy off the bench.
Possession arrows with Kentucky as they go to their bench.
Yeah, look at that help side come on over. Cray stays out, defending physically without fouling. That's a real key. Referees will let him play.
Not efficient offensively. Would attribute to both D's.
Shot clock.
They really weren't aware until pointed to.
Get every highlight with CBS Sports HQ, streaming free 24/7. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today. Bruce and Raft will be with the HQ gang when we're done here after our doubleheader today.
Leo topless on the floor. He can score. Who's spending time in Greece as a professional coach. Got an offensive foul on the screen. I don't think that Hopkins.
Bill would call that maybe a little nickel dimer. Maybe.
We've seen a few of those in our day.
Sandin lowers his shoulder, maybe a little bit here. Yeah.
We got both. Play on, I think, don't you?
Little chicken wing.
That's what we get served on our budget.
I don't belong here. I really don't. All right, he holds off the ball again. You make one mistake at one end,
right,
and you compound it on the other end. That was not necessary.
And a set play, too, for Noah to get a look. Did you blow up these dribble handles?
Yeah, we blew them up. I would switch this and jump out. Instead, they make him go through the guard. We would switch that out and blow it up.
Sellers coming back in for the Red Storm.
You know, Coach Pitino's got a mentality. You know, he wants to switch, but he wants to switch with a purpose, and they want to switch out. That would have been a good opportunity. Santa goes to the bench with 2 fouls.
And one of your scorers, too.
Yeah.
And they zone up on it and then recover.
There's some matchup problems out there.
Kentucky averaging about 84 points a game, and St. John's 87. We're not going to get even close to that today. I can tell you that right now.
You're right about the mismatch. Moreno had a smaller Mitchell on him. They never took advantage.
They never got the ball to the other side to find him, and that's a second turnover for Mo, trying to put the ball down the floor and create, especially when you hesitate. If you want to get it, shoot it. You want to get it, drive it, but don't get it, hesitate, and then go.
Ian Jackson running the point, at least momentarily.
Very good at getting to the rim, too.
Jackson was 3.
How about that? That's what they've been working on, his shot outside. That's his 16th 3 made.
Again, full court pressure.
They like to make you pay for it. Put in a mark. We'll double up first time.
It just picks up their energy, and Kentucky's scrambling now. 20 on the shot clock. They're now finally into a set.
Aberdeen's really got to act like a point guard, I think, with this group. Dioubate comes back the other way. He can shoot it. Nice denial. Hopkins.
Unbelievable defense.
All the way at your 4. Fouled en route.
See, Kentucky is not extending on this possession we're going to watch right now. They're letting St. John's catch the ball right there at the pinch post. And so the handoff is then at the 3-point line.
Can't go under, but although they may have told him to go under on him, he's not a great 3-point shooter.
They might have, but I would have extended the catch to Moreno and not let him catch the ball that tight. That way he's got everything. Extend catches is one of the best ways to keep people away from feeding the post. Those passes are longer to get in there, and it runs them off the 3-point line. Kentucky didn't compete for the 3-point line on that possession.
That was Hopkins on the drive, not Ejiofor.
So they are calling that right away. Guys are taking advantage of that attack. Not many charges called lately. The new change to the rule.
I like it.
I do too.
Jackson,
nice
dish.
slide by Prey. Boy,
he's fouled.
Should have gone up the same side and quicker. But those pump fakes.
Foul's going to be on Garrison.
Lights attention underneath here. A little slip. So he had the same side, and now he attacks the other. Pretty good help D other than the foul.
Yeah. Cam Williams could come over a little bit sooner. And like you said, Bill, he had an opportunity to just catch it and take it. But you know what? When they block 5 shots already, you're wondering where the secondary help is coming from.
You get a little tick in the eye, right?
Prey's only been to the free throw line 11 times so far this year, and he's now 6 of 12.
You think the Kentucky fans read the press clippings and know what the shooting percentage is of the free throw shooter? All of a sudden they start cheering, "Go Big Blue," as the big fella goes to the line.
You witnessed that firsthand many an evening.
The most knowledgeable fans in all of college basketball.
They don't miss much, do they?
The best thing for you when you went to Lexington was to go to the track, I think, huh?
I won my first time there and my last time there, and I never won in between. How
Is that
about
why you quit?
That's why I stopped. I was like, you know what?
Smart guy.
Leave well enough alone.
Yeah, your son's out of the gate doing a wonderful job. You must have taken your clippings with you.
He's doing great. He's got that. He's ready. He's owned it. Look at all this pressure, Bill. They've just neither team is letting the ball come inbounds early, and we're going to see some turnovers as these teams get a little bit worn out.
Talking about Bruce's son now coaching at Auburn, one of the teams that beat St. John's this year.
As you mentioned earlier, Bruce, the press gets them late in the shot clock getting started throughout. It's 12 seconds left and nothing going. Puts a lot of stress deep. Done a good job here. Garrison, he's turning and elevate. Wow.
That's great defense. It really is. Really physical. Officials let him play through it.
So don't leave your feet. Nice slip. Oh, my goodness. What a give there.
That's a collision.
Williams can. Laying the lumber.
I like this.
Teams are mixing it up a little bit. The officials separating everybody.
You know, Kentucky needs a little bit of that. The top interceptor came over there. He's responsible for the guy driving to the basket. The ball is delivered, and where's the defense? Bam, it slides over there. Hard foul. We got a good one from Atlanta.
Let's take a look at our Jersey Mike Subs game summary. Neither team shooting very well. You can credit the defense for both teams. 14-12. St. John's out in front. Jenny with the Hall of Famer Rick Pitino just moments ago.
Coach, we just saw some chippiness out there. How do you make sure this team maintains composure?
We're just a bunch of choir boys. It's all on them.
Just a bunch of choir boys out there. Okay, in a game that is
good Catholic school.
That's right. In a game that is this close, how do you separate yourself?
It's two great defensive teams. They got great size, great shot blocking. Our guys are they're battling, not backing down. I'm proud of our guys.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Well, they've said that about Bill Raftery, a choir boy. They've never said that about me or Bruce Pearl, I can tell you that much.
How about the respect Mark has for him? I mean, the adulation almost, the reverence. Talked him through a lot of careers. Probably talked about him being a doctor.
Talked about changing his life versus impacting his life. Not many people get to do that. Rick Pitino is the best at what he does.
You said to Mark yesterday, you said, give me two things that stand out against what we're going to face tomorrow in St. John's. The first thing he said was, they got Rick Pitino.
What was the other thing he said? He changed me or he would have killed me.
That's right. One of the two. And fouled on a three-pointer.
Inexperience, really. Trying to do the right thing. The energy. But what a tough obstacle to get a jump shot over. Look at this close in that height. Goodness.
You know, you want to challenge, but you want to challenge and you want to go by the offensive player. That way you have no chance on landing on him.
The old days, Tark was like skip out or jump stop out. But lately, a lot of guys are trying to go, and the refs are better with the leg kick and everything else.
Yeah, they are. And the idea, too, is you go where the ball's going to be, not where it is. And again, JQ's not played a lot. Guys, I love Coach Pitino coming out of that timeout. You're not only with the humor, but just the respect that he had for the way the game was being played.
Hollywood's biggest party is now bigger than ever, with more stars, more glamour, and more chaos. Nikki Glazer hosts the Golden Globes live on CBS January 11th and streaming on Paramount Plus. Both free throws go. Sellers, I should see all three free throws go.
And your point guard averages 2 assists a game for Kentucky now, Jasper. So you're a makeshift point guard.
Yeah, neither team, they're both point guards, and so they trust the other guys to be able to make decisions and handle the ball. That can be challenging for the coach.
Kentucky hasn't scored in the last 4 minutes, guys.
I'd like to see Oweh inside a little bit on his matchup with Sellers. Oh, not a good pass. Run it down.
He's going to run it
Here
down.
comes Hustle. Woo-hoo! Out of nowhere, almost got it. Talk about speed.
Now, this is the tempo I thought we'd say right here.
How does one guy go one way and nobody gets back? It's unbelievable.
Nobody stopped the ball. Nobody protected the rim.
St. John for a moment had a 7-point lead, their biggest.
Well, St. John's has got to create some defense from their offense. The ball gets kicked out. It's a 50-50 ball. And Ian Jackson chase it down. JQ challenged the shot. But now the tempo, now you got to get back. And St. John's, after the bucket, did not convert.
Yeah, Prey doing a pretty good job out there. About 10 minutes a game. Changed the hairdo, by the way. Used to be a little tighter. Went to the same beauty parlor you did.
You know, back in the day, you used to pay a lot of money for those curls, right?
You prayed to have them.
I think they called it a perm, right?
They did.
Yeah.
We're just showing Ian Jackson he's got a new hairdo too. But Prey got them both. Ian Jackson, there's where he looked like Monday, I think it was. He came to practice the next day. His teammates didn't know who he was.
This is why Brad is sensational. He does a lot of pre-game prep. He went to the barber shop, checked in.
He said, hey, if I'm going to start, I'm going to change the dude.
That's his game, Rob. He can make them. Stepped out deep. 14-3 of the year.
Jasper Johnson cuts the lead to 4.
Well, Mitchell laid the wood.
That's Kentucky's first 3 on that last basket.
Mitchell, a driver.
Hopkins will try one of his own.
They forced him into a tough shot. Ejiofor into the block. Nice crossover.
The left hand will go out the window. Quaintance trying to keep it alive. Does.
Nice cut by Garrison. Just go strong. Well, that left hand was weak twice now.
And jump ball. Quaintance doing a nice job defensively.
This is a great pass, a great feed. Puts him on his shoulder. That's a ball you got to finish. Great backside rebound by Hopkins. I actually think that Quaintance comes in there late. I wouldn't call it a jump ball. I'm going to call it a reach-in foul.
St. John's does a great job going side to side. I'd like to see Zuby at the block at the end of all this action. He is, what a load up he does. He presents himself. Look at the duck in here. Moreno all over him. He forced the foul.
Yeah, he did.
That's his game. Physicality.
Chandler picks up his second foul.
All this is prep. Load up on your guy. You can see the difference in strength, obviously. But he's persistent. Once again, you're not finished yet.
All Malachi's got to do there, Bill, is just sort of stay on top, I think. He tried to go 3 quarters and stay behind, and Edgy's too big and strong for that.
And Zuby hits the free throw. 4 points for him.
A great year last year. Player of the year this year, preseason. Just like Oweh here.
And a great teammate, a great captain, a great leader. Embracing what Rick Pitino wants on and off the floor.
Ejiofor got them both.
Sets up their pressure. But again, not a true point guard. So if you keep it out of his hands, Oweh and others, Chandler like, have to handle.
Other than that three-pointer Kentucky got a couple of minutes ago, they have not had a field goal in about 6 minutes. Other than that 1-3.
Bad foul. Never regain position. Can't afford it. They need Ejiofor on the floor.
What happens in Vegas? Well, since then 3-0.
Stays in Vegas.
You sound like you're experienced.
I was actually rooting against him for one of those games because one of those losses came to Auburn and Stephen Pearl. Stephen Pearl did something his dad could not do, and that's beat the Hall of Famer Rick Pitino.
And they played Iowa State great too prior. Look at this attack. Not a good look.
First to the floor.
The deck.
First to the floor.
Great save.
St. John's comes out with it.
You got to give effort. You want to play for St. John's. Nice denial, but little nickel-dimer by Johnson. Got to let him catch it out that far, too, though. I mean, you did your job, got him away from the box, get in your defensive position.
He fronted him out of the post, which is exactly what you want to do, but then just don't foul him.
Particularly when you're struggling to score.
I like coming on 3-quarter low side like that. Just don't foul. You got him off the block. Help is on the way.
Bryce Hopkins at the free throw line. Looking for his first point.
Of course, at Kentucky, I think he averaged about 2 points when he was there. And then at Providence, had a knee injury up there. Sat out most of last year.
Raph, when Hopkins gets going, and he's capable. This is a first-team All-Big East guy at Providence when he was healthy. And St. John's is a pretty good team. With him playing better, they're going to be a great team.
Raph mentioned he was at Kentucky his freshman season, the 21-22 year.
Nice denial here. Of course, the problem. What do you love as a coach getting him in that corner? Coffin corner.
Well, right now, Kentucky's pressure set is 2 guys up, and they're just trying to lob the ball in every time. You're going to get a deflection on that. You're going to get a turnover. Putting him in a corner, Bill, just like you said.
Put him in that box. Then, of course, you got the trap here, and you got the middle guy. You have him rotate below. You took it off quickly, though, as I recall. Unless it was a logical jump to passing lane.
Tom Davis said you could only trap a great team maybe once. Rick Pitino's making it hard to get the ball in, but he's not trapping.
5:13 remaining first half. We're back in 30 seconds. 24-16 St. John's, low-scoring defensive battle here in Atlanta. The CBS Sports Classic. St. John's defense today has been strong.
So you're the expert on defense. Give it a go.
Well, they can challenge you at the rim. They're physical. Those are tough twos. Those are not great shots, but look at all the help. Look at all the bodies. Everybody's got vision. They get the ball in, they kick it out. Offense from the defense.
Do you know in 1982, the first Big East game Seton Hall played was against Boston College?
Do you know
there
who
was a professor there who was the head coach, Dr. Tom Davis, and the rest is history, right?
Bill, I was a manager on the end of the bench. I was at the Hall, a very special place to play, place that you spent about half your life.
Exactly.
Right?
All my prayers didn't work.
Well, if you're any good at anything, chances are you had a pretty good teacher. And Tom Davis was a great, great teacher for me. Now I'm relying on you guys to teach me how to do this. I'm in trouble.
There's no teacher with you, kid.
5 minutes remaining first half.
This guy's got to get going.
The elbow, got it.
He's a good player. Good numbers at Stanford. Brought him with him. Mostly known for that three-point shooting. 39% threes when he was at Stanford.
Yeah,
you were there too, weren't you?
I was at Stanford. I was everywhere. Just 65. I've been everywhere. But he adds that mid-range to his game. That's Rick Pitino with the gym. That's one-on-one with your coach. Adding to your game, player development.
Double-digit lead. Kentucky's got to find some offense, fellas.
I know, and not really able to shake his guy to get a good look. He's a good three-point shooter. Here's a dribble handoff.
No, got fouled. Let's check in with Jenny.
Yeah, keep an eye on Trent Noah right there. It looks like he hurt his right forearm. They put the sleeve on him, but he keeps grabbing at it, so it seems to really be bothering him, guys.
Well, he was not going to the free throw line, but got fouled on.
Yeah, he looks
drive.
like he's hampered by it a little bit.
On one end, St. John's looks like they're running their offense, getting the shots they want. On the other end, St. John's is just extending and not allowing Kentucky to turn corners.
And seizing the opportunity, Brad, too, without a point guard.
Yep. Aberdeen fadeaway jumper, got it.
There you go. Mid-range game, don't settle deep.
That's what he does.
He's got a ring.
And he does have a ring. How good was Florida last year, Bill?
Oh, boy.
Three guards in the NBA.
He was your assistant, or he played for you in the
Todd
Maccabi
Golden
game.
played for me in 2009 in the Maccabi games. He was my assistant coach for the first 3 years at Auburn.
And he still talks to you, huh?
Best friends with my son, Steven. Try to get him to date my daughter.
Hopkins.
Oh, nice.
Foul on the rebound.
A good job by Mitchell trying to get it. Well, coach said to stick him. Put a body on him. Aberdeen. Little dribble drive. Get those puppies organized. Little fadeaway. Need some action from the backcourt. Really smug it. Let's go, Oweh. Get these cats moving a little bit.
St. John's by 8, 3:44 to go in the first half. Let's take you back 3 minutes ago on a shot by Jasper Johnson that we originally called a three, but as Raft would say, he didn't get the puppies settled outside the line, and they make that a 2. Tomorrow, speaking of 2, at 2 Eastern over on CBS Sports Network, catch a women's hardwood showdown. Madison Booker and the second-ranked Texas Longhorns taking on the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. If you're just joining us, Brad Nessler, Bill Raftery, Bruce Pearl, Jenny Dell, and our CBS team here at the CBS Sports Classic State Farm Arena in Atlanta. First of 2 games, and this has been a rock fight so far. St. John's 26, Kentucky only 18.
And Bruce, I was asking him during the timeout, at this point, nothing seems to be in flow for Kentucky. Would you try and isolate or get some little back screen to the box and get some power moves, maybe get to the free throw line to generate some juice?
You know, the hardest thing right now is they're handling the ball so far away from the basket. As we all know, Mark Pope loves to get the ball inside, likes to take advantage of the big lineup. We thought of it. Look, right now he's got 4 guards out right now. He's sort of matching up with St. John's.
If you didn't think it was physical, that is not paint. That's blood. So we got to get that cleaned up. And Courtney Green, one of our officials, is mic'd up today. Here's what he was doing during one of the timeouts.
White 15 on the arm. 2 shots. Twice. Both teams are just playing really, really, really fast. Illegal. 3. This illegal screen, go long, use the elbow. Go long. Okay.
Most people watching would say, I wish I was in Courtney Green's shape. The shape he's in.
Do you think Courtney does this at home, clean that up?
Let me tell you something.
Has Bryce do it?
He's doing a good job of monitoring that, right? You know?
He's
Hey,
evaluating right now.
right now, St. John's got to feel good, Bill. All right. Kentucky is shooting, you know, a very, very low percentage, and yet St. John's only shoot 28%. But they got 10 guys that have played so far, and they're running good stuff.
St. John's, guys, 11 out of 13 from the free throw line. Kentucky hasn't shot a free throw.
That tells you the difference in type of shots and selection. Well, he has been around, huh? When did you first meet him? 5-star camp, maybe?
Coach Pitino? Oh, absolutely. And Bill, he was a head coach at Boston University. Jim Calhoun was the head coach at Northeastern University. Dr. Tom Davis was the head coach at Boston College. All three guys, all with a little chip on their shoulder, right? All able to extend defensively, all great coaches.
Did they speak to one another?
No, they hated each other. They did.
No wonder you fit in. You were the calming influence.
Oweh on the drive.
I like that guy. He knows. And you had just mentioned no free throws. Ignite the attack. Use that big wide body. Preseason player of the year. He's got to stand out.
Yeah. And Edgy picks up his second foul.
Against quality opponents, we mentioned their losses were to Louisville, Michigan State, North Carolina, and Gonzaga. Gonzaga, the one in Nashville, and talked to Mark about that. And he said, we deserve to get our butts booed. And they did rigorously by the Big Blue Nation that was in Music City for that one.
Guys, I don't recall us being this late in a month of December where a team still hasn't figured out. They've had so many injuries. It has so few practices together. Guys, that makes a huge difference. And now with J-Lo out right now, doubtful to return, that's an even bigger problem for Kentucky.
I asked Mark, I said, how many games have you had everybody that you wanted ready to go? He said, I don't think we've had one.
Because like Indiana game, I thought they got it going a little bit. You
played
know?
really good defense.
And this is just a step back when you have your mainstay Lowe out. Nice post up and a good look for Jackson.
And in and out on the three.
Great check out. Give it up. Ooh.
Too far in front. Blown chance at a fast break.
Dioubate. That's what happens maybe when the wrong guy is the center of attention on a fast break.
This is what the rest of the guys got to take over. They got to take some responsibility. They create the turnover on the long shot, long shots, long rebounds. Get out and go.
But don't go that far.
Bray's done a nice job when he's been on the floor. A lot of screening, getting people free, being competitive on the defensive end.
Under 3 to go in the half.
Nice look. Go up strong. And that speed and the ability to deploy.
And Bill, later on the shot clock, a little later on the shot clock, all that movement, all that action. And then they finish with a great high-low.
Hopkins' first field goal.
Something at the rim. Can always spray if you get in that lane.
Three-pointer goes.
How about Dioubate? Not known for that. That's his 9th attempt. He's made 2 before that one.
They'll take it. Any offense they can get right now. Now the crowd trying to come to life for the Wildcats to turn up the defensive pressure.
Don't forget, no point guard on the floor. Right? Nice slip. Nice find as well.
Great middle ball screen. Defensive transition. Stop the ball. Protect the rim.
Ooh.
And Gray with the foul is sent Oweh to the free throw line.
That's his game, though. Aggressive. Got that football mentality like a brother. Are they going to call a T on Bray?
I think Bray was speaking little Portuguese.
Well, how did they understand them, the officials?
I don't know. I was just there over the
You
summer.
can ask him about the family.
I know what he said. I know what he said.
Right here, just taking it into his own hands. We talked about this earlier. They're not calling that charge with that extra step once you gather. And Bray, maybe at the end of this, a little United Nations delivery.
Hold it, hold it.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think that Ortega initiated the contact. Bray was just protecting the rim. Didn't look like he looked at him. Maybe he looked at it the wrong way. And he looked at it the wrong way in Portuguese. That's possible.
He had one comment, fellas. We didn't quite go with the replay long enough. But he slipped a little Lisbon Portuguese in there.
You've heard that from Craig Silver quite often during your football run, right? Our producer.
Only I can hear. Craig.
Oh, no.
So what are we looking at now?
He's chatting away now. Rick not happy.
All right, here comes Courtney. Tell me.
Courtney's going to tell us. Will you just turn his mic on?
Shooting common foul. We're also looking to see if we're going to upgrade that to potential flagrant. We also had an offsetting technical foul both on Kentucky and on St. James.
This might be the first time you and I have ever agreed on anything.
Currently
You heard that offsetting common foul.
17 black.
Okay, I go for that more than
foul,
one.
23 white and 17 red. Class A technical foul. The previous foul is being reviewed for potential upgrade.
Again, we're going to get technical fouls on both teams.
This is just good basketball. This attack, I like. Nobody knows he's going to get to the foul line. Let's see if you're right. The comment.
Gene Steratore, this is where it happened, guys.
No, you're right. Reading lips. The talent I didn't know you had, Brad.
Gene Steratore, what do you think? Double T's, Gino?
Yes, I'm taking a look at Prey's right arm there as Oweh's going to the drive. I don't think it's a hook and hold. I think Prey gets hooked up there with the hand, but I don't see him pulling it down like traditional hook and hold there. It's like he was still making a basketball play and the arms got caught. Now at the end, it feels like he does kind of stay there one tick too long, which will have them taking a look at it there. But I don't think it's enough to elevate to flagrant one.
You know, Gene, when he refereed, never blew a technical foul. Never blew a call either.
Never.
You always get better after you retire, Raf.
No, you had great coaching skills, I think, which a lot of guys are getting better at, too.
So guys, the double technicals on Prey and on Oweh for yakking at each other.
And it comes in late. It comes in really late. The play happens, the contact happens. You got both teams that are close. Let's hear what they got.
Oh, flagrant one upgraded.
You know, here's where I'm coming from. Ortega lowers his shoulder and makes the first hit. And so then Prey with the right hand just kind of, here's a hit. Boom. That's a, you know, you could call that an offensive foul. Then Prey does hold on, and that's what they're getting him for.
I'm with you.
I let it all go. I just let it all go.
Okay, you want to give the double T? I'm with that. Shoot the free throws and let's go.
Yeah.
But this is a game situation potential changer. You know, adrenaline, belief, getting touched before halftime.
And Oweh hits the free throw. Another coming. He leads the way for the Cats with 7 of their 23.
Coach Pitino is not happy.
No,
he's upset with his bench about something.
I think he's venting with them so the officials don't see him.
I think you can let it go, and here comes the crowd.
He's pretty good at that, though.
Leads cut to 6. See if Kentucky can cut further into it.
Oh, they got a push late, too. Nice sell as well. Dioubate. He knew he was sort of going down, accentuated.
He puts the official in a tough spot here. He's framed, he's framed, he's framed. Both guys going for the ball, and he kind of falls down.
I know, that would have the play on, I think.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have to call a travel, so call a foul, send Mo to the line.
Oweh picks up the foul.
He had a very good Indiana game, brought a lot of fire to the floor.
Short on the free throw. And Rick's just going to cover his face and say, I'm not going to say anything right now. I'll wait.
You know, in those situations, what I like to tell officials is referee the defense. Just look at don't look where the offensive falling. Just referee the defense, and you get a good look if it was a foul or not.
Did they listen to you?
No, they never listened to me. That was my first warning.
They've listened to him more today than they did this whole time at Auburn.
It's like they're old friends. A little point pressure, first time all game. They can use clock.
Double-digit lead's been cut in half.
Love all the movement.
Iowa on the floor, too, brings a lot of spark. Got to go.
Hopkins on the drive and the spin.
Pretty. He's got strength. Nobody on the glass with Zuby out.
Except Moreno for Kentucky.
Got a mismatch inside.
Little stumble on the way to the hoop. Williams will bring it back on top.
Dioubate had his guy on the box. He came back out. Moreno's got to duck in too. Nice denial.
Another Kentucky turnover. 3 on the way. Rebound.
Good hustle, fellas.
Jackson off the window.
That's his game, though. He can blow by. Put it on the dick, get to the rim.
At both ends. And he's talking to him right now. What do you got to say to Denzel Aberdeen? Here we go.
45 seconds in the
Gotta
half.
get going. Always got to get going. This is his game. Nice help. Oweh. Woo. That kid brings a lot of spunk to the floor. Pull the string.
Moreno gets the carom.
Last shot.
I would get it out of his hands and come back to him. They can blitz this if they want.
Oweh on the dribble. 10 seconds remaining in the half.
Coach Pope wants to give him some space.
Might get a kick.
He's going to try a long jumper. Won't go. The 3's off the mark. Jackson, the rebound.
Not a good set.
And we are at halftime. Don't forget, coming up, AT&T at the half. Adam Clark, Wally will give us their first half analysis, latest highlights, and debate on who's the best freshman in the country. That's all coming up on AT&T at the half. And let's check in with Jenny.
Zuby, how do you walk that fine line of managing emotion while playing physical out there?
We know, it's a competitive game. A game that both teams want to win, obviously, and it's turned out really physical, obviously. So we just gotta, understand what the stakes are and just worry about the little things, the little details it takes to come out with a victory.
What's a key factor you're focused on in the second half?
Just being more assertive, the more physical team, as coach says all the time. The more physical team, the team that wins it on the backboard, is going to win the game. And it starts on defense, and then I have no doubt that we're going to find our shot in the second half as well.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Physical we've had, for sure. 32-25 at the break. Let's send you over to Adam Zucker in our New York studio for the AT&T at the half. Zuck. All right, to start the second half, we take a look at our Progressive Insurance first half statistics. It has not been pretty as far as shooting so far. Kentucky has 1 3-point shot. There's 11 turnovers on the side for the Wildcats, and they trail by 7. Jenny with Oweh just a moment ago.
As a leader of this team, how do you make sure the intensity is dialed up for the second half of this game?
Yeah, these are big games that we live for. Me as a leader, I feel like I don't really got to say too much. Everyone's really intense and ready to play. Obviously, it's a physical team, so, we just got to match that.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, appreciate it.
Well, I don't know if we've ever heard the term physical used more often in a basketball game than the first half of that one, guys.
It was hard for Kentucky to run their offense. St. John's plus 12 points off of turnovers. I thought that was a difference for the Redmen.
How about the free throws, though? Disparity there. A couple of threes by St. John's, but it is physical, no question about it. Lowe looks like he may be back. A little bit of a warm-up. That is big. We talked to him without a point and the direction.
Here's what Rapp's talking about. He was in for about 15 seconds in the first half, and then you see the taped right shoulder, and he went straight to the locker room favoring that shoulder, but he's back out here, as Rapp said, warming up and hopefully ready to go.
Look, I'm Kentucky, and I'm only down 7, and my only point guard was on the bench the whole time, and he might come back here and play. I'm encouraged.
And maybe we'll see Quaintance with more minutes.
Only played 3.5. If he's ready, playing. If not,
big screen by Moreno.
Nice show. Edgerford.
A lot of fouls, not a lot of points in this one.
Now, this is not a pretty set right now.
Not at all.
No, oh my goodness.
Gonna have to hurry a shot, Aberdeen. And Moreno keeps it alive.
Get organized now.
Nice drive up and under.
Nice. Pretty good defensive play, but tough to cover the weak side.
it is. So when Edgy goes over to block the shot, Houski's going to come down for the backside and clean it up.
Tough, though. He's at the bump on the foul. I know you're right, but big distance to cover.
Nice drive by Hopkins.
He just made up for it. We just have 2 baskets in the first minute of the play.
We're getting excited, huh?
This is exciting.
He had a jump shot right there. Moreno on the duck in. And this is to your point, Coach.
Yeah, right in there. We get rotation.
Tough to cover that far. That angle, don't you think?
I think Hopkins has got to still sink and fill, right? And on the other end, this is where Hopkins is really good. Driving downhill, getting through the contact and scoring.
Zuby does a great job showing and recovering. Good quick feet.
Oweh and Aberdeen on top 5 on the shot clock.
Look at that challenge.
Hurry that one. Moreno again underneath, keeps it alive and scores it.
Wow. Pretty good effort. Hopkins tried to cover that time.
2 offensive rebound baskets by Kentucky to start the second half.
Malachi got them both, and the points off them.
Away, I believe, with that reach in. Sanun's got to get going too. Well, the foul, 2 fouls hurt him. Didn't get many minutes.
You want to challenge this, but then somebody's got to get in there and put a body on Moreno.
Mr. Basketball. They get all those guys, don't they?
They have everyone they want.
Out of Georgetown, Kentucky.
A little envy in that comment.
Well, I would just take what they didn't want to recruit, right? the breadcrumbs.
Santa on the drive.
Chandler with good D there. Wow. Maybe earlier, but at the end, I didn't think he fouled him. Pretty good strength.
Third, I think.
That open middle, because Zuby moves around so much, sets this baby up. You just see, keeps his guy in abeyance. I think Moreno's got to come over there. Somebody overtake Zuby.
Yeah, I thought he moved his puppies like to take a line from U-Bell really, really well. It's, to me, it's a no call.
This kid can get going. They're a different team. Particularly if you can get a little foot in the lane for the Pitino guys and find him.
They think he's a pro. They think he's got pro ability to shoot the ball athletically, and he's still young.
Good pressure here. Big Sky Player of the Year, darling. He really works hard, hustles. Look at this automatic switch.
Look at what Kentucky's handling the basketball.
Yeah, too much dribbling out there. A little dribble handoff.
Away from the free throw line. Got it.
He passed up that shot before.
Yeah.
He's got to take that.
Kentucky turns the corner. They're a better offensive team.
Oweh's got 10 to lead Kentucky in scoring and get him back to within 5.
Nice use of the screen by Sellers.
Nice defense by Moreno.
Little blur by Garrison and a duck in Moreno. And a hold. Big Sellers got caught underneath. Not much he could do.
Kentucky here offensively hit the pinch post, screen, down screen dribble handoff, and always able to make a tough 2. Turn the corner. Good offense.
Hopkins gets a breather for St. John's.
You got to rely on your guys that can make tough 2s, mid-range jump shots. It's lost in the game. Against good defenses, you need some guys that can get you some buckets.
And Chandler lost the handle. Too many turnovers for Kentucky this afternoon as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Not valuing the ball.
And a whistle foul on Chandler.
And that roll set that up. They had to cover the roll guy. Nice pump fake and a bite.
Now that's Chandler's 3rd.
This little dribble handoff. Kids are smart, aren't they?
They are.
Feel that contact.
Hey, Bill, you think these guys know what each other's offense are? They're both running the same 5-out stuff, right? That's why I think the defense has been so elite. They run the same offense.
All the scoring for Savage coming from the free throw line. And here comes maybe some hope. Jaden Lowe's coming back in, bad shoulder and all.
I love the way they were not roughed them up in the drills. They were holding the arm, making him try and hyperextend it.
Yeah, they don't want to see the first hit be out here on the court. Kentucky kind of looks like Willis Reed. How many Willis Reeds can you bring?
Oh, my goodness, exactly.
Incoming. Oh, didn't quite make it to us. Remember, this is the teacher.
And Mark Pope, the student, the captain of his '96 national championship team at Kentucky. There they are.
For Pitino, it took a Pope to win the championship.
Oh, boy. Again, St. John's with pressure all over the court.
Like Garrison inside.
High-low.
There they go.
Moreno.
Nice help inside. How about that heady play?
That's a walk.
Empty side, too. He had it. He kept the dribble. Just really good paying attention to detail here.
And you can't make a play if you don't see the ball.
Look at that. That is just great effort. So none of you not doing damage on one end, help on the other.
This is playing for Rick Pitino. He changes your game. He demands you to play at both ends.
Aberdeen leads it for Moreno.
And that gamble by Darling at half court cost them.
Yep.
Stay steady.
Still St. John's by 5.
Empty side again. They give it up early.
Drop step, spin move, and a chance for a three-point play.
Big time delivery. Zuby using that derriere to counter the balance. Pretty impressive. Good entry to the correct hand.
This is what old veteran teams do. The crowd is back in the game. Kentucky's within reach. What do? Hit the ball on the Big East Player of the Year. Give him a touch, and he goes off the weak hand. What a great spin move.
Here's his spin on the low block.
I just like that entry on that high side, too.
And great patience.
He's a tough cover because his mobility as well.
See if he can cap the three-point play. Yes, he can. 8 for Zuby.
KG Vets.
8 for Zuby, and the lead is 8.
Quaintance on the floor. I like to see guys being used. He hasn't been in the game much.
That's the first time Lowe's gotten bumped since he went to the locker room. Apparently he's okay.
He's good right here.
Oweh, baseline, got it.
Oh, what a counter. That was great defense as well. Elevating and knocking it down. Don't get back.
And they come up with a steal. Numbers for Kentucky.
Ooh, going the other way. Ooh.
And score it for Oweh.
He did jump.
Well, he told Jenny we got to be physical. This is a physical basket.
Nice moving. Good call.
Chance for a three-point play. Kentucky cutting into that lead. Let's take a look at our fast analysis presented by AT&T, fellas.
Both teams doing a better job offensively to start the second half. That's a great job by Sellers. Getting to his spot, get to the elbow and pull it up. And Darling, after was coached by his coach, to shoot that ball a little higher and let it fly from 3.
Just great activity here. A little screen, bump on the baseline, a slip to the rim. Hopkins with a wide open opportunity. Offense flowing a little bit better on both ends.
Maybe fatigue is a little bit of a factor. That last drive by Ortega. He was going to get to the rim, wasn't he, Bill?
No question. He's strong, bull-like. Yet he's got an outside game, a mid-game. He's a tough kid. I think he's just rounding into typical form.
You know what? This is a tough play here because does he beat him to the spot? The feet may be moving. I think it's a good call.
Would the shirt come off on that call if it went against you?
If it went against me, I'd untuck it. The untuck look.
Kentucky has cut the lead to 3.
A 1-2-2 retreat. They don't get over.
10 seconds.
First time out of a timeout. Pretty good ploy by Mark Pope.
And that lights the crowd up in Catlanta.
He's not acting like an acolyte. He's acting like a Pope.
It's a little 1-2-2. And St. John's just a little too impatient. The middle of the floor was open.
Kentucky scores on this trip down the floor. This place is going to explode. It is packed with Kentucky blue.
Now Lowe's got Ejiofor away from the rim. They should get something inside.
He wants it too, doesn't he?
Lowe.
Now,
Nope.
Settle.
and nobody, Garrison should have loaded up and begged. Ejiofor wants it. He does. Again, he just ducks in.
Give it to him. Yep. We're going to stay here a little too much.
He reducks as well as anybody. He'll do 2, 3, 4 times a trip, loading up and begging for that ball.
I don't think they find him enough. That ball's going to go
I
in.
agree. Here's another reload, too. Right?
Foul on Garrison, obviously, in that tangle.
Bill, I don't think he's a guy you can play behind. I think you got to try to and make them throw the ball over the top.
Quaintance now will be tough to throw it over the top against this kid. But he keeps him away from the rim now, so it's a back cut or a mid shot.
Jackson got bumped.
Boy, not a good one. Silly. Inexperience right there for not playing. Wait.
This Christmas, don't miss the biggest comedy event of the year. SpongeBob movie Search for SquarePants, now playing only in theaters. It's the 6th Kentucky foul of the half. Those guys got the checkered SquarePants.
Brad, what you talked about there with the fouls, 6 fouls already. St. John's is really good at getting the foul line, and Kentucky typically doesn't foul.
Hopkins has been much more active. He's free on a cut. And a foul underneath before the shot. Oweh's going to get it against him, I think. Yeah. He was just tangling it up, but Ejiofor. 2 strong bodies, but again, he puts the pressure, initiates contact, very wily kind of a player. Look at this. Attracts attention, reloads again, constant.
The officials know a mismatch, and they see him out sort of big. And so the guard's got to be physical, but he can't be that physical and draw that much attention to himself.
That's the 3rd foul on Oweh.
And that's big.
That's not good news for Kentucky.
Not at all.
Now the other end, it's Ruby Ejiofor at the free throw line where he's 3 for 3. And as a team, St. John's is 16 out of 20, make it 17 out of 21.
Talking about his dunk in, I mean, the Ole Miss, I think he had 8 blocks. I mean, he plays both ends of the floor, this kid.
He does. And Bill, you said he makes the official blow the whistle. And so now with St. John's in a bonus, as a coach, in the first half, they kind of let him play. I wonder if they start calling a little closer. That would not be my preference, because he's been a very well called game to this point. See, this good pressure, full court pressure. They're going to get the ball across at 20 seconds. Then they're going to get into their half-court offense. And now you don't want to guard them for a third of the shot clock.
I would deny the next pass here now.
Quaintance trying to drive. Does. It's good.
Power. How about that ISO for the big fella? Top to 10.
That's what they're excited about, the next level right there.
Stumbling on the drive, turnover St. John's. Lowe will pull it out, trailing by 3.
Look at the mismatch with Quaintance. Now Hopkins gets off him, and Ejiofor gets him.
Lowe, runner.
Got it. That's what makes him special with this team. Missing ingredient.
St. John's needs a timeout.
And they'll take it. The lead was double digits at one point in the first half. The folks in Atlanta have come to see this, and they've seen their Wildcats cut it to 1. St. John's lead's been cut to 1. One guy that's missed 6 games with a bad shoulder. One guy's missed the whole season coming back from an injury. Nice to have him back.
How about turning Kentucky down once? He comes back. A favorite son right now. Looking for him around the rim defensively, his ability to take a guy off the bounce. I did not see this last year, but pretty good effort by the big fella. He's got to play a lot of minutes, makes them a different team along with Lowe.
That's a man-child versus a monster, and then getting Lowe back. Kentucky fans, wondering what you've been missing? Getting Lowe to those 2 guys, they make a big difference. Guys, are we looking at a second-half rally like we saw against Indiana?
Quite possibly. Some tough matchups right now. And Quaintance on the floor. Ejiofor giving up a lot of inches. I don't know if he'll be able to lob or if he'll handle his duck in. Quaintance, that is.
Out of timeout. He's trying to go inside. Dioubate.
High-low.
He's asking for it.
Look at him work, though.
They got it to him, but Quaintance with a block shot.
Tell you what, this kid's going to be some factor. Look at him run the floor, too. Rim to rim. He wants it. He got the mismatch.
Kentucky's last lead was 12-10.
Did he have the mismatch?
No,
It don't even
should have
go.
gone right into him, Bill. Should have gone right to him.
They've got the lead. That
Nice
one
hustle.
short.
5 on the clock.
Hit the net, but not the rim. Got to get it up there. Extra pass.
Look who's at the rim.
Quaintance. Now they've got it. The lead. Jaden Quaintance with a putback.
Well, the Bluegrass is smiling a little bit more. You got your guys together, soft enough to be rebounded, and Quaintance just pursuit extraordinary. Zuby and Hopkins giving up a lot of inches with this guy.
They are. Look at this. Great post defense. He's big enough to stay behind, and when the ball does go in, he's second off the floor. This kid is special. He's been a man-child since he was a junior in high school. He's almost that size. It's so good to see him out here right now and healthy.
Kentucky with the lead by 1. Big tangle up between the big fellas.
They got the mismatch inside. And he's guarding him well, though. Look at him moving those big legs.
Three-pointer won't go. Battle for the rebound won by Kentucky.
Numbers.
3-on-2. Pull-up triple. Got it.
Williams Cam out of Tulane.
Wow. Where you been, Cam? They've been waiting for that for a month.
That's his 8th. Look at the rebounding checkouts.
Kentucky on a 9-0 run. They lead by 4. And a touch foul on Lowe.
Yeah, Iowa with the hands.
Look at this advance pass. Let's throw the ball ahead. Let's give Cam a look. Let's bring the house down. We get a ball game here at the CBS Sports Classic.
Great run here in the second half. The shooting has improved. The lead has gone out to 4, their biggest of the ball game. Here's how they did it.
And did it with a lot of new, fresh faces, including Quaintance at that rim and little floater. The lead guard, nice to see Lowe back. One of those guys that can penetrate. Just a whole different enthusiasm and juice about their approach to the game.
Yeah, it's a different look right now for the team. It's got the entire bench energized. JQ plays 8 minutes, Bill. 5 rebounds, 2 block shots. He's making an enormous impact in this game.
You're saying the NIL is worth it?
Well, I give about 3.2 million reasons why the Kentucky fans are glad he's playing.
Moreno with the pick. Lowe wanted to get it to him and didn't.
Nice extra step to get the goal. He's clever. Got a good feel.
Yeah, good defense, better offense.
St. John's last field goal was 5 minutes ago. 3 points from the line at that time. That's it.
They're one guy to go to right now. Everything on the perimeter, nothing pointed at the rim. Tough shot.
Rims out. Yeah. Rebound. Kentucky hits the deck to get it. Here comes Lowe.
Nice shot to Dioubate. Gives an open look to Williams again.
Deep.
Got it. How about this kid?
Wow. He took that from right in front of Raft.
From New Orleans to Lexington.
Just a simple advance pass. And Kentucky's got a 9-point lead.
A 14-0 run to give him that lead. traffic, and a whistle and a foul on Moreno.
That's good. You just stem the tide. You need to get to the free throw line. But shortening the floor certainly helps. How about that angle pass?
It's simple, Bill. Just get the ball ahead and let your guys make plays.
I love his hesitation, his feel. Just great to see him back and healthy.
Let's check in with Jenny.
That was just in the Kentucky huddle. My biggest takeaway, Mark Pope reminding his team to communicate out there, extra communication, just to help JQ get accumulated, being back out there with this team. They know he's such a game changer, guys.
He sure has been. Mark Fox over there talking to him on the bench.
How about that? The two coaches back together. Mark gave him his start.
That's right. Mark, former Georgia coach, spent a lot of time here in Atlanta, obviously.
Both teams have got great coaching staffs. Cagey veterans on both sides.
Doubles drag out top. Mixing his game up. Right, nice block. Zuby.
St. John's trying to run. Nice block shot on the other end.
Nice collaboration. Dioubate maybe the guy that got it. This is good Oweh resting too with those fouls.
Lowe, a little crossover.
Looks to get to that show. Little duck and cause the foul on Zuby. Moreno trying to duck in. Dioubate really a good addition too. He had been missing as well.
Yeah, he brings effort, energy, athleticism, and this is where Kentucky is best, in the open floor. Guys, both offenses are in front of their coaches in the second half. Does that have anything to do with they're both running better offense because they're sitting right in front of their coaches, especially on the Kentucky end? Mark Pope is in control of this game right now with his half-court offense.
I think with Kentucky, it's the addition of some people as well.
Maybe I go with coaching you with people.
Bill's a people person.
Well, you can't coach without people, right? Good people.
Take some Jimmys and Joes.
Exactly. He has been solid since back. The real dilemma, where to go. He's mixed his game up pretty good. Known as a shooter, so none putting it on the deck. But some new faces back, healthy.
We made a lot of it in the opening. We thought these guys, if they got healthy, they could turn their season around. This season is not over Kentucky. They're back and they're healthy, and they're getting ready to start the SEC play, playing some great basketball.
Back of the free throw line, Salmon, who was not missed. And Lowe gets another breather and a big round of applause from the folks here in Atlanta.
I think Brandon Wells is the trainer. Got to give him a little tip of the hat too, right?
Yeah, those two were in the locker room together after about 15 seconds in the first half, and now in the second half, he's got 6 points and he's running the show, Jaden Lowe.
Guys, there's a lot of talk with the NIL about whether or not these guys want to play or don't want to play, or people to advise them. How about these two young kids, Bill? Coming out both with injuries, both with big NIL deals, and both with great features. But they're out here representing Kentucky.
A lot of guys just put it aside. Good press now to get them back going. And then Moreno with the giveaway.
And that's going to be 4, I think, isn't it, George?
Well, the interesting thing with pressing, who takes the ball out? Just a little out of bounds, right? Maybe he's not accustomed to taking it out with pressure. All of a sudden, Aaron toss, chance for 2 more, give them some life.
It's 40 minutes. You do it for 40 minutes, and you never know when you're going to get one. Where's people out?
Moreno's got to come out. He's got 4 fouls, and Quaintance will come back in.
Fans are excited about this kid, Quaintance. You can feel it.
A wealth of riches for Kentucky right now, especially on the front line.
Salmon 12 for 12 from the free throw line.
They got the offensive foul on the hole, but Oweh took it out. And maybe 1-1 already.
So what Coach Pitino's doing right there, right now, is he wants his guys to get in a frame. See how he was framed right there? That way you're not holding, you're not grabbing, you don't get that foul.
But you notice Oweh took it out? You got to get a better passer against that press.
Here's Cam Williams, who's hit a couple of big three-pointers in the second half. He has not been to the foul line that often. 4 for 4. Make it 5 for 5 on the year.
They expected him to come in from Tulane and be a driller. And this game is going to give him some confidence.
Well, he did some great things. 11 double-doubles in the past at Tulane. A pretty well-rounded kid.
You know, sometimes, Bill, you feel the pressure from the Kentucky fans. He comes there, he wants to do well. He was supposed to do this. He was a big get out of the portal, and he doesn't deliver right away, and it puts pressure on these kids sometimes.
Tough for them to acclimate easily, you know, particularly at this high level.
Yep.
Expectations.
St. John still hasn't had a field goal in the last 7 minutes. Everything's been the free throw line.
It's been the difference so far in the second half.
Nice dig by Williams, too. 4 to go and nothing going.
Gotta hurry.
It's
Edge
going.
4. Short.
Oh, foul. The good hustle. So now. That's just a good hustle play. He got hurt, though. Dan Williams.
You know, you can control the outcome with your effort and your energy on the defensive end. A great challenge. Look at this 50-50 ball.
There's the end of the play in the collision, and Salmon with the foul.
He's still shaking it off with that arm.
Free throw goes for Williams. Spend the night with CBS. Join hosts Bert Kreischer and Hardy as they celebrate with today's top country artists. New Year's Eve Live, Nashville's Big Bash on CBS.
Pretty good stroke on this kid on the foul line as well.
Got them both. 9 for the game, all in the second half for Cam Williams.
Sets up that pressure by making the free throw. Look at this. They get what a hustle ground. Off the red. Yep. And that was Dioubate. Relentless. Not only are they playing better, they're playing a lot more energy and conviction.
Yeah, St. John's pressure set here. They just got too many guys up the floor. And Kentucky making things happen with their defense.
Oweh,
nice spin move.
And we're going to the free throw line.
Boy, much more aggressive, though. More definitive in the move. Body strength, balance. And just his spin is incredible.
He's a tough one-on-one cover.
He is. The weak side got to help a little bit. Kids have a lot of pride, too. They've been hearing it down there, I'm sure.
Oh, they have.
More so than most places.
Yeah, more so than maybe any place, Bill. And don't you love how Mark Pope's owned it, too? He's put all of it on himself. He's taken all the pressure off the kids, and now the kids are playing for him.
And the lead goes to 10 for Kentucky. First double-digit advantage of the ballgame for them.
St. John's is going to stretch this pressure set. Too many red shirts too close to the ball. Nobody throw the ball down the floor to them.
2 for 9, not really able to score the second half.
They're 0 for their last 6 from the floor.
Look at Quaintance out there. He closed that turnover. Not a good angle. Edgeworth not really a post passer. You got to get it over on the left and dump it down. But Quaintance. Well, this is more like it. Enjoyed it in Lexington. They're back. The Cats are on the prowl in Atlanta.
Game summary. Kentucky is warmed up from the floor, and St. John's has gone ice cold. If it wasn't for the free throws, it'd be a long day for the Red Storm. And Rick Pitino, former head coach at Kentucky, and his old captain from the '96 national championship team, now running the show in Lexington. And the emotions of those two. Jenny.
I was talking to Rick Pitino about what Mark was like as a student athlete back in the day, and he said my favorite story is every time he'd miss a shot, he would yell, "Frick!" frick over and over again. And he said, I finally had to go up to him and say, hey, Mark, God knows what you mean. Just say it.
Oh, we all lost it when he said that to us yesterday.
Because when they won in the Meadowlands, I happened to do radio then, and he was the post-game guest.
Really?
Yes. I didn't ask the questions. He was too articulate with the answers.
Well, Kentucky's had the answers in the second half after a disastrous offensive performance in the first half.
Stops is what they need, and better offensive execution for St. John's. Tough shot.
Oweh, short.
That's settled.
Got his own rebound.
Mitchell forgot to check and go. Can't give them when you're behind these second opportunities. Look at Quaintance with a high-low. Nice plays, Ruby. Not a good angle. Would you agree?
No, he's going to land about 6 seconds as well.
Still struggling from the floor.
And a good clean look, though. You got to knock those babies down.
Kentucky has gotten in the back into this game and taken control of the game with their defense and their physicality. 6 turnovers from St. John's. Doubled them up on points. Defense and rebounding win championships.
And some pretty good talent playing a lot better. Lowe and Quaintance as well. Cam Williams, nice cut, set it up.
Slip, beautiful.
Fell asleep. Well, you've got to face the ball at the corner, too. You can't let an injury occur.
Well, they finally get a field goal on an easy one that they have been 0 for their last 7. And at the 7-minute mark, the lead cut to 8.
Tougher to press with this kid on the floor.
Lowe on the drive.
He just wrapped him up. Concession.
Darling picking up his 4th foul, sending Lowe to the free throw line.
Of course, out of Pittsburgh, 13 All-ACC player. Very confident.
Just under 17 points a game for Pitt last year.
Big loss, big gain. Steve Masiello, of course, played at Kentucky for Rick. Chatting with Darling.
There's the foul situation. Both teams have some issues with 6:45 to play. Jalen got them both. He's got 8 all in this half. The lead goes back to 10.
Offense by committee right now. Who's got the open? Don't leave the ball, right?
Lowe one-hands the rebound.
Not a good pass.
Yeah, it'll end up in the right hands, but Quaintance can't connect in close.
Great balance, though. Nothing early. This is not a great match, believe it or not.
But Kentucky's going to stay at home. Yeah, let the big fella play more than one.
And it works.
Good footwork by the big guy.
I don't need any help. I got him. You guys stay in the passing lanes. I'm going to stay down. I'm going to be second off the floor. My boat might have gone up to St. John's.
I thought it did, but
the crowd thought it did too.
Yeah.
They're going to check it now. They finally do. Kentucky finally asked for it. They got a delay in what they receive. You know better than me. The poor guy looking at the iPad, and it's insufferable. You're going to lose your lunch money if you don't get it right.
He's behind the bench watching this. Yeah,
and he's trying to tee it up.
Yeah, while they take a look at who the
previous
ball
out of
is
bounds
off,
play has been challenged by Kentucky.
We'll take a break. Just under 6 to play. Burrow, Courtney Green, and Brian Dorsey all having a look at that last ball out of bounds.
Successful challenge.
Successful challenge.
Each team starts a game with a challenge. You have to call a timeout to initiate one.
Yeah.
Gene Steratore is with us. Gene, you had a chance to look at that too, along with us. That last play. I thought it was off his knee and his hand, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they were both fellas, yep. And he's got to make it take it now. He still has one remaining because that was successful.
So Mark Pope's got a manager over there on the bench. that told him to get a replay. He gets a cookie after the game, right?
In Kentucky, you get more than a cookie, you know?
Well, it's a fortune cookie. You never know what's inside.
That's true.
Well, not so fortunate for St. John's. They don't get to keep the basketball. They got full court pressure, and Lowe's got him in his hands as we're under 6 minutes to go.
Bay on the floor, pretty good defender. He'll have his hands full with Quaintance.
Lowe weaving through the dish out for the three.
Ooh, what? On the hands because of Oweh's hustle. That's a rebound Sellers normally would have, but they didn't give up on the play. Just those little things. How about this look away?
Great patience by the point guard to find the open shooter in the corner. Long shots, long rebounds.
Look at that.
You got to chase him down with 2 hands.
Oops. Step back. 3-pointer off the mark. Jackson with a rebound.
Oh, good footwork by Lowe to take the penetration away.
Great job by Kentucky getting 5-on-5 back. Bodies on bodies.
Sandin. Prey keeps it alive.
Nice look by Prey.
Jackson 3. They can't get anything to drop right now.
Get back to D a little bit. Challenge the shot, but don't force the issue.
It's late. Both teams playing 4 guards and 1 big.
And time becoming an issue for St. John's, and not only that, they need a win like this.
Oh, they do. They do. St. John's not going to see the kind of competition that they are in the SEC. Get the ball to the rim. Big foul, cleans it up.
He drew so much attention away. Bared the glass for number 21.
Size matters at the rim.
Well, both teams need handlers and obviously to match up press wise.
That one goes for Sellers.
I don't like Quaintance taking the ball out though against press.
I think I want him to get him down the floor. Yeah.
This addition has been so good for him. Not a good shot here by him. Lowe.
That's a good one.
He took 2 defenders with him though.
Hasn't played all year, and he's got 10 points right now.
Prey lost his shoe. I guess it's worth the investment.
We are looking at what these Kentucky fans have been waiting for months. Jaden Quaintance, the man in the middle. Way too big, way too strong. You throw it up, let me clean it up here in Atlanta.
Jalen Lowe's godfather was John Lucas III. A lefty that can get to the rim, draw some attention. Right here, we're going to see all the action right here. So good drawing people, punishing the D, and who's the cleanup guy? Shake my hand and make my acquaintance.
So his day, 8 points. Biggest lead for Kentucky has been 12.
Lucas was a pretty good guard at ground when he hasn't been done.
Foul, and Oweh will go to the free throw line.
Kentucky's taking the game over with their defense. Plus 12 in rebounding night, plus 10 points in the paint. St. John's has got to do better. They struggle to score, Bill, but they got to do a better job of taking care of the basketball.
A better spirit. You can see our little point guard here shaking his head at half court. Just gave you a look. You should have brought me to Aberdeen.
I did. We were just a little light. We were a little light. I brought a pickup truck.
Not his weight. We're talking about the wallet was light.
You know, we're talking about St. John's and how important this game is, Bill. You know, UConn might be the only team in the Big East that could boost their quad 1 win opportunity. They lose this one. They go to 1-4 against quad 1.
Fouled out here.
And he's not fouled out.
Yeah.
Wow. Best
No,
player
you're
to play
right.
right now.
It's a difficulty. That's why a lot of the teams do load up in November and December. I think it's a great little prep for your season.
Sandin, who found out all his points came from the free throw line. He was 12 for 12, and now Oweh is 8 for 8 from the free throw line.
He's had his fingerprints on this game.
No kidding.
There's a lot expected of him. He was a really good player for them last year. Preseason player of the year might have been a stretch in the SEC. He's beginning to own it.
Grace misses the three.
Good rebound by Hopkins. Can't convert to make it three.
Jaden Quaintance's first appearance in a Wildcat uniform on the floor of the practice, and he has made his presence felt.
I love how Mark Pope brought him along slowly. He only played 3.5 minutes in the first half. He has enough juice here in the second half. This is just going to give him confidence. And guys, you know, when you make the decision about whether to bring a player back, you got to talk to the families, the parents, the agents, and everything I've heard from that camp is they were the ones that were pushing Mark Pope to put him on the floor, and not the other way around.
He tore his right ACL last February at Arizona State, and then hit the portal, and one of the biggest names in the portal that Kentucky has 6 players, new players come in, and right now they're meshing like they haven't meshed so far this year here in Atlanta.
And the king mesher is at half court. He's as big as the center.
Yep.
He wants it back. Now you got another playmaker with Oweh. Got the pressure on the point guard.
5 on the shot clock. Oweh is going to go up with it for 3.
Just out hustling right now. Just let him play. Good hustle. Williams looking to the ball.
First to the floor is always going to win it. And this is an area that Mark Pope talked about constantly as we're getting out hustled. We're not representing the name on the front of the jersey. And they have stepped up here in Atlanta.
They just look like a different spirited team going around slapping hands here.
Yep.
It's hard to play the game without a quarterback. And Lowe is their quarterback.
He has definitely made everybody around him better in the second half. Since going out with a shoulder injury in the first half, headed straight to the locker room, was questionable to return. And then when he came out, started warming up in the second half, ref said, I think he's going to go. And he has. He hasn't slowed down since.
They can't play without a point guard.
And Cam Williams in double figures.
See, Bill, this has really slowed St. John's down right here. No transition. I would like to try to get the ball over the top and attack it a little bit more.
And they're collapsing a little bit, too. St. John's unable to shoot from deep or get good shots from deep.
And takes time off the clock. We're down. We're going to score quicker than this.
Mitchell keeps it alive. One more try underneath.
They won't give up this team. Not a Rick Pitino team. They will give you effort until the end. Just couldn't shield the sideline. Lefty is the nickname.
Definitely too soon to foul. Guard throughout the possession.
About to hit the 2-minute mark.
I think this will be the end of straight-up defense, though.
Yeah, they're going to start trapping into this.
And fouling, too, maybe.
Low for 3.
There you go. Wow. All of a sudden, I can coach.
Genius.
And all of a sudden, the fans say, oh, we knew it was going to happen.
That's right. We don't have to go to Rome to see the Pope. Nice dive. Only a few mistakes. Hopkins able to finish.
Dangerous pass.
Nice steal by Hopkins to the foul by Williams.
When you get in the lane and draw some attention, sets up your outside game just as well. Everybody backs off. Number 15 in your program, going to be number 1 in your heart.
Screen, re-screened by the big fellow. St. Joe's goes under, and Lowe makes him pay.
I think Lowe's going to get a blow here.
Yeah, I think maybe even take JQ out too, possibly, right?
Yeah, they're not.
You know, I don't know. They're leaving him out there. You know what Pat Summitt used to tell me? He said, BP, when you're winning, they're worried you're going to lose. And when you're losing, they're packing your back. So in coaching, we're always coming or we're going. It's a good opportunity for Kentucky to close this one out and put the ball in the point guard's hands.
And Quaintance with a rebound off the miss.
Those big hands too.
He's asking for it on the other end as he ran down the court.
They're going to just play straight up.
Yeah, I think they're looking at the margin right now. You're looking at the math, saying, I don't know that we can win this one, so let's just not let it be. Let's get it under 10. That's really what he's thinking.
That little snake dribble is so effective. You own the guy. Nice pace. If you get the big guy helping, you lob it.
Come out, St. John's.
A minute to go, and as I said earlier, they call it Catlanta when the fans show up in this city. And they are happy with what they're seeing from their Wildcats. Well, this is going to put some notice to the SEC. Kentucky might be Kentucky.
What's your take? You know the league better than anybody.
Yeah, you know, the league's not as good as we were a year ago. Florida,
is that why you left?
I should have stayed a little bit longer, but got my son to check instead of me. Florida, Auburn, Tennessee, and Alabama, not quite as strong as it was a year ago. The SEC is wide open, and this is going to be a really good win for Kentucky.
I heard you were going to move to Tuscaloosa there when we were on the road.
No, I might run for Senate, though. That was the rumor, too. You think I get the vote from the Roll Tide people over there?
Maybe one absentee ballot.
Crazy? You crazy?
One absentee ballot.
I'm staying right here with you guys. I'm not going anywhere.
Timeout, 47 seconds to play, and the lead is Kentucky by 11. Mark Pope in a happy huddle right now with 47 seconds to go and a 74-63 lead.
All of a sudden, they're an eye-opener, don't you think, Brad and Bruce? I mean, you see the backup at center, maybe three viable guys. Spunk, Oweh healthy, Dioubate healthy, and obviously the guard, Lowe. It's a key.
Spans are thinking maybe he's a little smarter than they gave him credit for, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know, when you go against the guy you learned it from, it's tough. I think Travis Ford might have won a couple of games against Rick, but not many former players, now coaches, have beaten him. But this one's going to be in Mark Pope's pocket today.
We'll play to the end, St. John's, though.
Three-pointer a bit short, and St. John's has been short of offense in the second half. And they're going to fall to 7 and 4.
We were concerned about St. John's and their offense. But they are going to play to the end. That's what Rick Pitino's teams are always going to do. Where does St. John's go now, Bill? Where do they go right now?
You know they got their defense, so it's got to be on the offensive end of work. What can we do to establish some easier looks? Rotation maybe changes, you know, you look at the tape. Some guys did a lot more maybe than you spotted during the course of the game.
I used to tell the guys, you know, want to have a merrier Christmas? Let's win this last one, right? Ho, ho, ho.
I had a lot of coal in my stocking. Quaintance, well deserved, though.
Yeah, what a debut.
What a debut.
Double figures, scoring, and 7 rebounds, and some big block shots.
How about the emotional sway in Lexington from a week, you know?
The fans are cheering SEC. It just means more.
Well, they were booing in Nashville when Gonzaga handed Kentucky one of its worst losses in a long, long time, and they have flipped the switch here in Atlanta today. You couple this with the Indiana win last week, it's been a good week.
Yep, Alabama coming up pretty soon. The Wildcats go to the SEC feeling good about themselves.
That's over the dunk and the shot. Mark Pope put his hands up, but it was too late. The ball was in the air to slow it down. And he's saying, my bad.
Yeah, saying that's on me.
They got a T as well.
Yeah, you know, the game is over. We try to teach our kids to, to let it go. But when the ball gets lobbed down the court there, Mo Dioubate is going to do what's instinctive. And that's just, you know, put it in.
Not the way you want it to end either.
Now, been too hard fought to have that be a problem.
So that's an ejection. Is that because it's his second?
Correct.
Well, he heads to the locker room 3 seconds early.
He's just going to hide behind the bench.
He's going to try to get the meal money after this one.
It was a quick walk-by handshake.
Great respect, but everybody likes to win.
Might have gone to dinner last night. Don't think they're going to do that again tonight.
It's a little bit of a drive-by.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little blow-by.
78-66 our final score. We'll see you back here soon for Game 2 of our CBS Sports Classic doubleheader. It's number 12 North Carolina and the Buckeyes of Ohio State. But first, we'll send you back to Adam Zucker and Company in our New York studio for Inside College Basketball, presented by Progressive Insurance, right after these messages.